In this video, we'll talk about an important information, a decision that has been taken by the government with respect to monitoring the fake news. Okay, what the government has decided is any news that is flagged as fake by the PIB, as we all know, it is the Press Information Bureau of the government. It cannot be hosted on any online platform. Now, the news is important because from the governance point of view, this is very important. This is important also from the prelims point of view also. Questions can be asked in the mains, and even this question can be asked to a student in the interview also. So that is how this topic is important from prelims, from mains as well as from interview perspective. Let's find out what is the news in detail. It says that Meity has released some new proposals. What is Meity? As we all know, Meity is nothing but the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It says that any piece of news that has been identified as fake by the fact checking unit of PIB. It means that there is a institution by the name Press Information Bureau. As you are all civil services aspirants, you might be going to the PIB site every day to take out current affairs related information. This is the fact checking unit under the PIB. The same institution has a separate cell called fact checking unit. What is the responsibility? It says that any piece of news that has been identified as fake by the fact checking unit of the PIB, the center's nodal agency to share news updates will not be allowed on online intermediaries, including social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. It means that any news that has been identified and branded as fake by the fact checking unit of the PIB, it cannot be hosted on the platform of any of the intermediaries. This is a big news, believe me. And what is happening is there are some fears that people are talking about. What is the fear? What is the fear all about? What people say is the proposal has alarmed members of the civil society who fear that anything that the government contradicts could potentially become a ground for content takedowns. It means the fact checking unit, because it is a unit where the government officials are functioning, any news item which may be critical of the government, if that particular news item, if at all it is branded as fake by this fact checking unit, that has to be removed from the online intermediaries, all platforms. This is dangerous because in a democracy, the right to freedom of speech and expression and the right to dissent can become dangerous. So that is dangerous because it sets a scenario that any news item inconvenient for the government can be flagged or branded as fake by the PIB fact checking unit and then can be removed from the platform. So this is the fear. We'll talk about on what grounds the government has removed this. See, there are two words, intermediaries and due diligence. We all know that any platform that provides host services where common people or people can go and interact with the world is known as an intermediary. So any institution like Facebook, any institution like any social media platform, WhatsApp and all, they all come under the category of intermediaries. What is due diligence? It is basically the a self-regulation kind of a framework is called a due diligence framework, right? So every organization has its own due diligence norms. It means before posting anything on those platforms, a certain amount of fact checking has to be done by that particular intermediary. The requirement has been added under due diligence requirements that intermediaries need to follow to enjoy the safe harbor. It means that whenever an intermediary can take a defense, I did not do anything wrong, I just posted the news, before to claim that safeguard, the due diligence has to be exercised by that particular intermediary. Intermediaries essentially allow users to access services on the internet, and the proposed changes to the rules mean that no just social media platforms but internet service providers and web hosting providers, all classified as intermediaries currently, will have to follow its rules if notified with this provision. It means that anybody who is providing their services on the internet will be now covered under this provision. This means that if a piece of news has been flagged as fake or false either by the PIB or any other fact checking agency, it is not only talking about PIB, any other fact checking agency that is used by the government, authorized by the government, internet service providers will have to disable the link to that particular news piece within immediately. So this is the what you call the rule position that has been mandated by the government. Now the people are questioning the credibility of the fact finding, what you call the fact checking unit under PIB. The PIB's fact checking unit was set up in 2019 to verify news related to the government's ministries, departments and schemes. So it was this fact checking unit was basically the due diligence of the government itself. Why? Because this entity was basically trying to do the fact checking of the news hosted by various government ministries, departments under the various schemes. Okay. It routinely flags information about the government it believes is fake or misleading, albeit rarely explaining why it has flagged a particular piece of information. Now, it is basically trying to tell that this fact checking unit of the PIB, earlier what it was doing was, it was only doing the fact checking of the news that was hosted by ministries, departments and the for various schemes and all. Now what the government is saying is that it was earlier doing it, but it never gave any explanation why a particular news is fake or why a news has been flagged by the government. The PIB's fact checking unit has itself at times tweeted incorrect information. For example, it means to say that its own fact checking unit had posted incorrect information. It means that it itself committed certain mistakes. For instance, in 2020, it stamped a genuine recruitment notice of the IB as fake. A recruitment notice was what you call released by the IB in 2020. The PIB's fact checking unit, the fact checking unit of the PIB flagged this as fake, and the publications division of the Ministry of IB had to point out the incorrect fact check. So then immediately the Ministry of IB, Information and Broadcasting, had to pinpoint the mistake that was committed by this fact checking unit. So it means that there is a possibility that there can be credibility issues in future, right? And beyond intermediaries, it says that not only intermediaries, according to the draft, it will be an obligation on intermediaries that they cannot have content marked false by PIB or any other agency approved by the government. So it can go beyond intermediaries also. It would apply to the entirety of the technology, basically the technological stack, including the hosting service providers and internet service providers. It means there can be any agency that is hosting any information. If it is hosting that information on the platform of internet and connecting through this platform to multiple people, that will come under the scanner of this PIB's fact checking unit. So overall, this news assumes greater significance in all our what you call the prelims, mains and also from the interview dimension. There is a small announcement from the institution. If you are planning to kickstart your preparation for mains after prelims, this is an important information. Immediately after prelims, from the 12th of June, Ekam Academy is bringing a new platform of mains answer writing program, wherein very strategically the entire syllabus would be classified into various syllabus patterns and you will be writing the mains answer every single day. and overall at the end of the course you would be writing 300 answers on one GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Around 14 to 18 essays you will be made to write. So this is primarily done to make you prepare for the mains 2023, and all the answers that you will be writing will be supported by explanation sessions, and special attention would be given to your ethics and essay. How the special attention? The people who subscribe for this answer writing course will get free access to the essay and ethics classes also. These classes would be taken by me only, where I will be delving in deep about the ethics and essay. Why? Because for getting a good rank or a service of your choice, you need to have a strong performance in these two subjects, right? And I will also be giving you personal mentorship, where whatever answers you are writing as part of the test that are conducted, that will be corrected in private. You will be called for the counseling session, and in your what you call presence, these answers would be corrected. And at regular intervals we will also have special sessions on how to approach the mains answer writing. So for all these you need to subscribe to this particular program of answer writing, and believe me, strictly only 60 seats are reserved for the offline students. So if you are wanting to take this particular program in offline mode at Hyderabad, you have to register on priority, right? And there is a special session on the 10th of June where I will be talking about the various dimensions related to mains answer writing. So if you are planning to kickstart your preparation for mains immediately after prelims, I suggest to call on these numbers and get the enquiry from the counseling staff. Okay. So this is what related to this news I wanted to talk to all of you. So this is where the importance of this news is highlighted in this particular what you call video. Thank you very much, and for more such videos on YouTube, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel of YouTube. Please also do comment any videos in particular if you want, any changes you want me to make in the strategy of discussions that I am doing through this video. You are always welcome to give your comments also, right? I am Major Sps Oberoi, one of the lead faculties and chief instructor at Ekam IAS Academy, and also I am one of the chief mentors for mentoring the students preparing for UPSC. I have decided to start this series of important news coverage on the daily basis, where every day I will pick up 3 to 4 important news that have appeared in the newspaper that day, and I will try to post them before 12 o'clock every day. The target is before 12 noon, the important current affairs of that particular day shall be there on YouTube for you. So please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.